Welcome, you're listening to Dunestone Redemption, a podcast featuring three idiots talking about movies that probably no one will ever listen to. The format is simple. Each idiot gets to pick a movie and make the other two idiots watch it. Then we give our opinions on said film, and unless you're Bill Hader, aka Barry, aka Stefan, we don't allow guests, but we do value your feedback, so drop us a message at DunestoneRedemption.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram at Dunestone Films. All right, fellas, let's jump into it. What do we got? Dunestone Films. All right, fellas, let's jump into it. What do we got, heroes?
Well, we've got a couple to go over, but before I give you the names, actually, I'll give you the titles of what we're going to go over. We're going to go over three movies. The first one's called The Mule. The second one's called Prospect. And the third one's called The Rider. But before we actually start in on that, why Bill Hader this month?
I saw one episode,
okay,
and I'm into it.
Fair enough.
I'm into it, and I just like Bill Hader.
What is that? What platform is that on?
HBO.
It's on the HBO now.
It's their original programming.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will not be watching that.
We're coming
It's their
to
original
you.
programming.
We're coming to you from a trash can outside of the Last Call.
Yeah.
A bar that finally answers the question of. I don't know. That's something I saw Stefan do the last time. I thought it was very funny. They finally answer the question of.
We've got everything you want.
Everything you want.
Glitter, syrup, and horse jockey.
All drinks are served to you on roller skates and glitter. That was just a random.
All right, great.
All right, so let's start with The Mule. Just a random.
All right, great.
All right, so let's start with The Mule. I'll
The
go with my
Mule.
pick, which a brief summary. It's Clint Eastwood being racist. Basically, he is a down on his luck grandfather that kind of didn't really disown his family, but didn't have any time for them growing up. Is now trying to make amends, and he's found a way into indirectly kind of hauling drugs for the cartel to make some money on the side. So-
Indirectly?
There's no indirect to it.
yeah, I guess they're putting drugs in the back of his truck, and I guess the first run he didn't really know what he was up against, or do you think he knew?
Oh, I think
Oh,
he knew.
You think the first-
Absolutely.
If someone says, "Here, hold this, but don't ever
Don't
look
look
at
at
it,
it."
and don't show a cop," you're like, okay.
He played was my pick. I'll kind of talk about it. I thought it was a really solid flick, but it was nothing that really stood out other than the normal Clint Eastwood film. The same character he's played in a lot of his other movies. Again, man, this guy is just racist. He's just a different era.
Okay, do you
know?
really think that Eastwood's racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard people his age still say that it's just
Yeah,
it's
but
a
I
different
think
time
that,
frame.
but he says it and takes the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because he of how ridiculous he knows it sounds. Because he knows it's going to get a laugh.
It could be. It
That
could
could
be
be.
that maybe he's saying, I don't see what the big deal about this is.
Right.
Or maybe he's saying, I don't see what the big deal about this is.
Right. Right.
You know,
And we came to-
because I know he's very anti-politically correct.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And he's very right wing. White
Yeah.
wing kind of works.
Why-
He's very right wing conservative. I don't know. He's very right wing conservative. I don't know. Is he a racist? I doubt he's a racist.
The line
Yeah.
in the movie
He
is
actually seems like a really nice guy.
he calls the black family that is stopped. He says I didn't know you Negroes.
right.
And but
like, wait, whoa,
but the
whoa.
the response in the movie is she says all that. And he said no shit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean the joke was there. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, but
In
Sorry.
college, my grandmother, who would have been, she was about his age, so he's 88 now. She goes, "How's that colored friend of yours?" I'm like, "Colored? What color? What color is he?" And that would just make Grandma so mad. Oh, she'd get mad. Eastwood film, but it had some good actors, but no one really outshined the other actor. No one was going for it. No one phoned it in, but no one was there to really put on a performance. My favorite scene in this movie. He's kind of transporting drugs, and he gets a babysitter, but the cops stop the babysitter, the Mexicans he's with, and he kind of goes up to the cop, and I don't know how, he's like, "Just give this popcorn," and all the drugs next to the popcorn. The girl's upstairs, and just shoves his cop on his way, and I thought that's something I could see my grandfather doing, and that's why that stuck
Yeah,
out
well,
to
he
me.
jumps out and he's like, "It's okay, officer. They're with me.
They're with,
Right.
yeah,
An old white
Right.
guy.
an old white
All
guy.
is well here.
Up to no good.
An old white
Right.
guy.
An old white
All
guy.
is well here.
Up to no good.
Have some popcorn."
Girls upstairs will love it.
Yeah, he pops up in the back of that truck, and you're like, "Holy moly!"
Come look
Yeah.
at this,
Yeah,
officer.
come
I was
here,
like,
look at this.
oh,
I am hauling popcorn.
Uh-huh.
So why is the guy following you?
I'd love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Didn't make
it
any
didn't make
sense.
didn't make a lick of
No.
sense.
Made no
No.
sense. No
The
sense
cop was just
whatsoever.
like, "Oh, okay."
I'm confused now. I was caught in racist mode.
But a decent little flick, but nothing amazing, I would say. Easy, what are your thoughts on it?
I said there's a whole scene there about a shakedown, scaring this character into doing what they wanted him to do, showing him the body in the back. I know that's how cartels work. I assume that's what we see in the movies. That's how cartels work.
They've got to let you know that this is very serious.
But it just, you got a 90-year-old man. What are you going to threaten him with?
And he even makes point
killing
of that
the
later.
rest of his family.
That he doesn't really seem to care about.
Yeah.
I mean, a problem I had with the movie is, and I know it's based off a real story. It's based off of a New York Times story it's called The 90-Year-Old Drug Mule. But my question is that once you're pretty sure they're on to you, why don't you change trucks? You got the money to change trucks. Why don't you get a different vehicle?
Did they know the vehicle?
Yeah. They're saying
were
it's a
looking
black
The
truck.
black truck.
Yeah.
They pulled all those
They-
black trucks over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of plot holes.
I thought the scene where he is singing, they put the microphone in his car singing. They put the microphone in his car to hear what he's doing, and he's singing Travis Tritt. And that, I love me some Travis Tritt because I'm from Missouri, right?
It's not required.
But it's not only he's not just racist to the black people. He calls all the Mexicans beaners.
Yeah.
I mean,
Opportunity racist.
yeah,
Yes.
he is all
Yeah.
over the board. But you still, and he's hateful to his family. But
Didn't
you
he
still
insult
kind of
the
like the
Chinese
character.
lady in the very beginning at the
Yeah.
flea market, or not the flea market, but the flower
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, and-
that's a good.
But he's
an
all of
equal
those
opportunity
things,
racist.
but you like him.
He's
you
Archie
like the
Bunker.
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely
yeah.
Archie. Exactly the character he played in Gran Torino.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really think that. They do some background stuff showing that he was the flower man of the year and all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. Basically, kind of a traveling salesman, if you ask
Right.
me. That kind of life on the road
Right,
type
exactly.
guy. But it was definitely the same character
Yeah.
from Gran. It was definitely the same character
Yeah.
from Gran Torino, which is pretty much the same character that Eastwood always plays, because I think he just plays a version of himself.
Right.
He just didn't growl as much in this one.
Yeah, he wasn't as growly.
Right.
Yeah.
What was interesting too, now that you say that, that first scene when he talked about the internet, and they showed the internet, I'm like, where are we supposed to be in what time frame? Internet, and they showed the internet, I'm like, where are we supposed to be in what time frame? Because it was the very early stages of the internet, and the screen they showed, but they never really showed you that they jumped forward.
Right.
You just next thing you know, we're 8 years later, or whatever it was. But anyway, I thought that was confusing a little bit too.
My last note on this I put was stories do not end this way, where it makes your relationship better with your
Yeah.
family. In
was
reality, you're going. Yeah, it's like we got to have a little bit of happy here. You're going to prison. I
No
ain't
one
never gonna
goes to
talk to you
prison
again.
and becomes closer with their family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Because your family just eventually stops visiting you.
I'm going to say that I gave this a 6, a Hoskins.
Oh shoot, I forgot. I'm with you there.
It was
You got
too.
a Hoskins?
It was enjoyable enough. I wish I got more from Bradley Cooper because the scene we did see him in with the where he's at the pop machine with the other criminal and he's shaking him down. I love that. Thought it was handled well and it's what a cop would have done. So it was okay.
I'm kind of really, really, really on the fence about it. I like that it's a real film. They had a real music score. There was nice opening credits. I knew right when it started. I was like, okay, well, this is Eastwood. This is a solid director. I'm going to get a real film experience
Right.
out of this. Which on a lot of the stuff that we see these days, you don't really get. I think they're skipping over some of that Formula 2 filmmaking, which I really wish they wouldn't do. It's part of the stuff that I enjoy from the film. I don't need to jump right into things.
Right.
Warm me up a bit, But plays. I don't know. It's got a lot of really nice, pretty shots. Unlike
does.
Gran Torino had like a real message there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this had a message.
No, it
he's
did
not a
not.
good person.
No.
You
tried
know,
to redeem himself,
he was
but
a
didn't
jerk
he?
ass his whole life,
Yep.
and now by running drugs for the cartel, he's somehow making up for that. He does stop, no matter the consequences, to visit with his ex-wife, but it's another one of those things where they're playing this ex-wife as the person just sitting around waiting for your ass for years.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, come on, get a life, honey. go on, get married, be with someone else. The kids would have nothing to do with him. There's always that one grandkid that thinks that grandpa's misunderstood. No, that kid doesn't exist, and they know that grandpa's an asshole because mom's told them that grandpa's an asshole their whole life.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like it had a story. It was trying to say something, figure out what it was trying to say.
Right.
I don't really find that any of the characters were really
likable.
That great. I mean, we had Bradley Cooper and
Pena.
What was
Michael
it?
Pena.
Michael Pena. And they were good. But I think anybody could have done those roles fairly well.
Yeah.
Those roles fairly well. I don't think they brought anything spectacular to them. And I think it's time that Hollywood starts giving some of those minor roles to minor actors.
So that they can
Quit putting A-list celebrities in these minor roles.
Yeah.
They've got enough money. Let somebody else, the Pixar and all that stuff like that. Don't put a cast full of star-studded people where you have to recognize every voice in that film.
I do not go to the movie to hear somebody.
No,
so what's it matter?
Put some unknown people and let them get some recognition.
But how do the rich stay rich? They help all their friends out.
I guess
that's
so.
how
Some recognition.
But how do the rich stay rich? They help all their friends out.
I guess
that's
so.
How it
I
happens,
guess
man.
so.
That's who you know.
You guys gave it a Hoskins. I'm going to give it a Saget.
Saget.
And I don't know if you want to watch all the Clint Eastwood films someday, this one should be on your list.
This is a Eastwood film.
This one should be on your list.
This is a Eastwood film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I think if you're 65 or above,
that's why
I really think you would like this movie.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of people in nursing homes that could probably very much relate to this story.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe.
So
they wouldn't watch it because there was profanity.
Yeah.
It's not on Hallmark.
This was Russell's pick. Russ, you want to give a synopsis or
Prospect? They're calling it a sci-fi western. It's kind of the age-old tale where the rough and tumble guy falls in with the young gal, and they're trying to survive. They're put into a bad situation. It's a sci-fi film. It's loosely a gold rush western film.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a film.
It's a film.
It's a film.
Yeah, that's what they were going for. But I love Pedro Pascal in this. He's the main rogue character.
Ezra. Is his name.
Yeah. I love the gal that's in it.
Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah, she's
Sophie
everything.
Thatcher. Yeah, she's
was
great.
really great in this.
She's
I hated
related
the
to Margaret Thatcher.
I hated Jay Duplass, who played her father in there.
Oh yeah.
They could not kill that character off fast enough for me.
Spoiler.
Every line that he delivered was crap. It's like every line that he delivered was crap. It's like
he's not an actor.
Well, he is an actor. It says actor on IMDb. I mean, they make film. They're writers and directors, but it says actor.
Gotcha.
On his deal on IMDb. But there wasn't a lot of character development. Especially with secondary characters. The sci-fi kind of portion of it, I liked the filmography of it, the cinematography.
Yeah.
I really liked the costume. I liked some of the special effects. It's got some good stuff going. This was made by a first-time production company called Dust, and they're some of the people that I think were loosely tied to Game of Thrones. That's why Pascal was in it. And this is their first feature film. I thought for a first-time feature film for a company, it's a pretty good outing. But
what are you giving?
A bit of Saget as well. I don't know of a lot of people that I could recommend this film to.
That's the struggle.
Yeah, I mean, the people that I would recommend this film to are sitting in this room with me. But anybody else, anybody else, I'd be like, I don't know if you'll like this. You probably won't.
I had, by the way, IMDb gave it a 6.1. Rotten Tomatoes is 68%. I enjoyed this movie. I think I liked it more than you did.
Good.
Now, this piece about sci-fi, I don't believe that this movie is sci-fi, in that you could take that movie and you could transport it into the science of it. Didn't really play into it into the whole concept
Well,
of me like it should have.
It is set in the future. And
Understood.
It's in space, and they're on an alien planet.
But you could take that and
It's
understood.
in space, and they're on an alien planet.
But you could take that and it could take place in the California desert,
oh, absolutely.
or in the Amazon,
Absolutely.
or in the past, or in
Yeah.
so-
The desert would be a great place because the whole thing is they can't be without these suits.
Right.
And
Right.
These suits are in the oxygen.
But
or
that
what's
jungle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
they had kind of some of that upside down stuff.
Yeah.
Going on, like
Yeah.
the floaty stuff in the air. And I'd really like to find out how they make that, how they film those.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
Is it really?
No, I don't know. I didn't.
I'll believe you.
My thing is that what I liked about the movie is this girl that doesn't have a relationship with her father at all, and this guy kills her father. I mean,
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert, because the other guy shoots him.
I think we're
but-
supposed to say those before we spoil.
Sorry, spoiler alert. Don't. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to see this movie anyways. And so, this is the person that you're going to see this movie anyways. And so, this is the person that kills her father, but she gains this relationship with him because he simply listens to her.
Mm-hmm.
He shows interest in her, and it's not sexual. It's not anything inappropriate. It is just simple. She's telling this story about how she writes the way that she imagines, the way that she
She writes fan fiction of
Yeah.
a book she's already read.
absolutely. And so
Yeah.
she's writing these stories, and she tells her dad about them, and he's always said, "That's stupid.
Dumb.
Stop doing that." And the story goes, "Tell me more.
Yeah.
I want to hear more," and engages with her, and immediately, I mean, it saves his life because she didn't go back for her dad. She goes back for him because he showed some caring and some compassion.
He built a rapport with her.
Yeah, enjoyed the message of it. The one thing that I read is that this is a movie that was a short film. If I looked at my notes, it's 15-minute short film that this is based off of. I feel like you took a 15-minute film and you tried to stretch it into an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's where you movie. So
what was your analogy of what they were mining for? You said earlier.
it was
was
like trying to steal a belly button ring
that's
from an
right.
alien out of the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
What
like
they were
that's what it was just the weirdest thing.
Strange.
And the one thing like I liked about Avatar is they said this is unobtainium that we're trying. We
Right.
never really got that, but I really like this.
I gave
like,
this a Hoskins, by the way. I don't know if I
Hoskins,
saw
that's
that. I
right.
said that.
I like this more than I thought it would. I need to start watching trailers before I watch them because I didn't know what this was. Like we talked, I didn't know what the theme was trying to be. I thought it was more of a survival, but I guess it's really open for interpretation. Like what you guys said, I think Pedro was great in it. I like some of just how it was shot.
I really like the costuming. I like
Yeah.
that 70s,
And the
late 70s,
and the
early
tether,
80s. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, you're
That was-
literally stuck with this
They
guy.
took that shot back
Yeah.
tube and they made it a prop.
My favorite part was like the old school sci-fi feel, like the rail.
A prop.
My favorite part was like the old school sci-fi feel, like the railguns. I thought were so cool. You crank up your railgun and shoot it. But I thought it was great. But my favorite, I guess, scene from this movie is when he's been shot and he's going to do the medical kit on himself. And when he shoots that goo or whatever in his arm, the face he makes is like, what did I just do? And then he just chugs that bottle and then throws himself back against the wall. Like, that was a great scene.
Yeah.
Well, he's good.
He is good.
His face was like, oh my God, what did I just do? And then just
He's gonna find a role soon.
makes him a star.
Well, that's gonna put him in Oscar contention for something.
He'll be an-
Put him in Oscar contention for something.
He'll be an
I
A-lister.
agreed.
Because I think
I
he
think
could be
so- I
there.
think
He's
so,
been in
yeah.
some good flicks, but yeah.
I think he's
so-
getting pretty close to being an A-lister already. Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, but
But yeah, I'd give him a Hoskins. Yeah, is that what we gave a
Yep,
6?
yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
the Hoskins. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it better than me
Yeah.
because I
did.
liked Jungle.
You watched
No, I'm
Jungle
genuinely
twice.
pleased that you guys
like
we're
it
doing
better.
the Hereditary, so we're doing some math here.
Man. So,
Oh,
so
gosh.
basically, I've got the worst pick so far with Hereditary. So you both hated it. Perfect.
No, he didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. I like scary movies and stuff, but it's just man, it was so
weird.
far out there. And when you said you watched it twice, I was like, good lord.
Hey guys, you're.
Well, yeah, Thunder Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad.
That's still getting buzz.
Yeah.
on the indie.
I'm
circuit.
telling you.
You're telling us what?
I'm telling you that it was all over. That's why I chose it. I was like, I got to see what these guys think because it was weird. All right, my movie for the month was The Rider. It has an IMDb. My movie for the month was The Rider. It has an IMDb score of 7.5, a Rotten Tomatoes of 82%.
Now, is that the writer or the rider?
Rider.
So riding on something.
Riding on, I think, horses.
I'm just clarifying that for the 3 people that'll listen.
Yes.
We're
All
up to 3?
Yeah.
I listened to it 3 times.
Okay. That makes sense.
I struggled with the first part of this movie because the speed and the monotony of the story, I was like, I am going to fall asleep watching this. But that pace was telling the story of that life. It was telling the story. It looks like every day for these people in what we believe is Middle America. We're from Middle America.
The Dakotas. It's more of the plains, I think.
Okay.
The northern plains.
And
On an Indian reservation.
that's what we're assuming because
Yeah.
I mean they had all the
A lot of
feels
things
of
were
that.
kind of giving us feels for that, yeah.
Down remarks that there's a scene where he is sitting in his trailer, smoking a cigarette, watching all old cartoons. The living room is a mess, and that scene just was like, that is the life I don't want to live.
It was
The life I don't want to live.
it was cut straight from Poverty Today magazine.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great.
Yeah.
And that's what they were showing.
And I thought that made you understand the hopelessness of, okay, I don't have this. I'm not going to be able to do my passion anymore of riding in the rodeo, but this is my rodeo. But this is my alternative. I can go work hard every day and come home to this.
Ugh.
That's
Thanks.
rough.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a scene there where he's pulling those staples out of his head with his knife. And it's like,
Yeah, I was kind of.
oh God.
I was shivering on that one. I had a lot.
I said in it that I did not want Brady to win and continue to follow his dream, which is a sad thing to say. We always tell people, chase your dream, chase your dream. At some point, we got to say your dream's not going to ever be a reality, and it's time to either move on to another, at least get rid of this dream and move on to something else. And when he talks with his dad, that he says to his dad, whatever happened to gritting your teeth and cowboying up? Because Dad's telling him to quit. And he's like, no, you've always told me to go for it.
Who are you telling me to quit? Well,
Yeah.
you've already said is
Yeah.
be a
And
man, be tough.
that was a real rub in this movie. And the heartbreak of the horse getting injured and
Yeah.
that broke my heart. This movie. It brought out some feels in me. So I recommend it. I gave it a 7, which is a Downey Jr. And
Pretty high.
I recommend it. I gave it a 7, which is a Downey Jr. And
Pretty high.
yeah,
I thought it was a little too slow for my liking. I mean, it wasn't even a slow burn. It was just slow. The analogy I made that this is basically the movie The Wrestler just shot as with horses, basically. It really was. And
Which is a fantastic.
just shot as with horses, basically. It really was. And
Which is a fantastic.
That's
analogy.
great.
well, and I think that honestly, I kept thinking when he got to the end, like you said, and he made the choice to not do what he was going to do. I thought he was going to get on the horse, and they were just going to end the movie right then, cut to black. I'm like, this is perfect, because you can leave it up to your interpretation. Did he stay on, or did he get off, or whatever?
Right.
But they didn't movie by any means.
Right.
But I don't know who out there I would say you should go see this.
Right.
It
For
had
sure.
almost a documentary film.
Yeah.
That's a
Because
It
of-
seemed
yeah.
like a documentary I'd be watching on PBS. They do a lot of that, narrowly focusing in on people who are not remarkable, but people who are everyday people, and they show their struggles. Everyday people, and they show their struggles.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe, kind of felt like a.
And I
PBS
blew
film.
Easy's mind when I told him I used to rope and had a horse, and that connection he had with the horse. And then when it happened, that was the hardest to watch.
Yeah,
That
I
was
still
so
can't
difficult.
picture you as riding a horse.
I never did.
He wore chaps, man.
They
Assless chaps.
they were
Riding the
that's-
horse.
Well, that's actually why I can't be close to a school any longer.
Oh, gotcha.
So just the chaps. But
Yeah,
you just had, like you said, that was where I got the feels.
Do
It was like,
you,
Dad's like, I'll do it for
As horse riders, we talked earlier that these guys both rode horses. My fat ass has never been on a horse. Do you guys on a horse? Do you guys miss it?
Yes.
Because I used to ride on a motorcycle, and I miss riding on a motorcycle, but it's more about it's not the vehicle, it's the shutting your brain off.
Yes.
If horses weren't so goddamn expensive, Branson stuff when we go down to Branson,
it's a very expensive hobby.
like
It's more expensive than
where you
golf.
rent them and they just go on the trail and it's
You
fun.
ask me, hey, I'll pay for you to go ride on a horse. I'd say there ain't no
Why
way.
is that? Are you scared of the horse?
No.
Or are you? What is it about the experience that you're thinking that you're not going to enjoy?
I don't want to. Why?
You
why
ask
they
Bridget
invented
too all
cars.
the time. That is so sexist.
Well, sorry. I don't know. Not my thing.
Well,
You
like
can edit that part out later.
these
No,
guys,
she don't care.
these guys in the film, like the horses, the cow. That's just an extension of their life and who they are. I mean,
Yeah.
these guys in the film, like the horses, the cow. That's just an extension of their life and who they are. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
if
I understand.
you took that
That is
away
their-
from them.
They
It's
don't
more
have
than you just like you used to ride. This is their life.
These
This is their-
homeboys,
yes.
these guys don't have PS3s.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
have smartphones.
No.
So these horses in this lifestyle that they're brought up
Oh.
in. I mean, his dad was a horseman as well,
Yeah.
obviously. So this just becomes their entire world, and it's their sense of self-identity.
Right.
So if I'm not a cowboy, what am I?
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I work at the CVS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give it a Saget just because I don't think it was a bad movie, but I don't know who I wouldn't recommend it to any of them. So I don't know who I would tell, hey, go see this, but I'd give it a 4.
Well, I'm going to pop right in here. This was a beautifully shot film.
Agreed.
So there were so many scenes. The scene where they're on the prairie doing kind of the bonfire when it's just the boys up there, kind of almost sharing, but just with the fire and the
The
way it was
sky.
lighting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I totally agree with Othie. This thing lingers. It finds some spots and it really, really just kind of gets you bogged down. And I so wanted a love interest, a best friend, a cat, somebody that this character could kind of share his internal monologue with.
The horse. He had the horse. Then he had to shoot it.
Yeah, but he didn't talk to the horse.
Yeah.
He didn't
No,
say,
I'm just kidding.
you know, so a lot of films talk to the horse.
Yeah.
He didn't
No,
say,
I'm just kidding.
you know, so a lot of films will give you that scene where it's like, well, I can't ride no more, Paul. You know, what am I supposed to do if I can't cowboy? What am I? You know
I
what I mean?
don't want your life.
Yeah, I do not want your life. And he kind of has that scene a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's just you're getting through facial expressions, and every now and then he's just a real jerk for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know why it is, because
Absolutely.
he's frustrated about all this stuff. But my lord, if he could have just shared some thoughts, it would have really. It would have moved this film along in a lot of the places that it just lingers.
I like that reserve of that part of the movie.
I know, and I can see your point on that completely. That you, because he is a cowboy, he's not supposed to show his feelings. He's supposed to tough it out, you know.
Cowboy up?
But he is hurting inside. Definitely
Right.
in this film.
Okay.
There are almost no professional actors in this
Yeah,
film
I read that.
whatsoever. It was shot for a very small budget, and when they were scouting locations to shoot the film, one of the horse trainer guys that they had met, that they were interviewing and stuff, was a guy who had recently been hurt in a rodeo accident. He was a champion bronc rider and was hurt and couldn't ride anymore, and so he was just training horses full time.
How convenient, huh?
Yeah, which is exactly the character they were
Yep.
looking for, so they just went ahead and
Interesting.
cast him. They can't, you know,
And
he's
you're
not
not-
an
they're-
actor.
they're not actors.
That's definitely not
Yeah.
an actor.
Yeah.
And like you said, the younger sister stole a lot of the scenes she was in, and I don't think she had any acting credits before that either. Did she?
No.
No, she's not. No, and she's not
Yeah,
acting.
right.
She is that person.
That person.
that she's playing in that film. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know if she'd been in anything else as that role.
No.
No, so they're all related, really.
Oh, they really are.
Oh, were they really related?
they-
I didn't
yeah.
know that they were
That I
really.
did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all
I know
have the
that
same
everyone's
last
pretty
name.
much from the town, but
Native American
yeah.
in them, definitely. Okay.
Yes.
So what was your ranking though?
I'm probably gonna give it. I'm probably gonna go with you and get. I'm probably gonna give it. I'm probably gonna go with you and get. Well, I don't know. I'm at a between a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
So I'd give it a Robert Saget.
Robert Saget. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm with you. I liked the film because I like a documentary film, and in that sense, I liked this film as like a feature film. I don't know what audience would walk away happy from a movie theater just paying $15 to see this.
that. Yeah,
That's
I
difficult.
agree with you there.
And I'm with you as well, where I just don't know who I would recommend this to.
The name
My
of
wife-
the three
Straight hated it.
is
You made her watch.
Blackburn is the
Blackburn,
name.
yeah.
Oh.
So the dad, the son, and the daughter are all.
Related.
And that's fantastic. I think that is awesome. It just enriches the story a little
I
bit.
agree.
Yeah.
Because you can't be mad at them for the bad delivery of lines. You're like, hey, they're
The best they can.
just doing. It was probably hard to deliver a lot of those lines.
Yeah.
These are
'Cause
people
they were
who had
heartfelt.
it
Yep.
in real life. So that's very.
I
very
did
cool.
enjoy the grittiness of it, though. It
Yeah.
was.
So basically, the Mule we recommend if you're over 60 to watch it. Prospect if you're what would we say, a big sci-fi fan maybe.
Yeah, if you're really a hardcore nerd,
Right.
you might
I
like that.
one.
You know,
It was interesting, and the writer I
Might
really
like
liked
that,
one.
you know.
It was interesting, and the writer I don't know who we'd really recommend that to.
I thought the whole. You know, I was kind of thinking when I was watching it, like, this is a film for country music fans.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to just
I get where you're coming
to
from.
really just throw it as like a real simple life. To really just throw it as like a real simple life.
But
there's not a lot
but
of
there's no emotion. There's not a lot of emotion there, and
Yeah.
I think I don't know why I liked it. I just it struck a chord for me at the time.
This might be a film that for my own personal entertainment, I'd like to see what some other people have
Kind
to
of like
think
I
about
did
it.
with Thunder Road.
Thunder Road.
Thunder Road. So speaking of recommendations, what are we all picking for June of 2019? You want me
Jack
to-
Shafe.
I am picking a movie called The Beach Bum with Matthew. I think you pronounce it McConaughey. It's on DVD till June 18th. I think is the correct date.
Okay.
There is, like Russ has picked in the past, there's people who are saying this is a great movie and people who are saying this is terrible, but it seems like the perfect role for McConaughey.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it, and we'll give it a shot.
Okay. Russell, what you got?
I am a 2018 film called A Dark Place. If you've ever watched Sherlock,
Yes.
and which Othie said he hasn't,
Nope.
and shame on
I
him.
know.
There's a guy named Andrew Scott who plays Moriarty.
And he is fantastic.
He is a tour
He-
de force. Tour
he-
de force.
He is so good
in that series.
Sherlock.
Just a tour de force in that series. And so the synopsis of this film is when a young boy goes missing in a sleepy backwoods town, a local sanitation truck driver, which they're kind of making him seem kind of simple, Donald, played by Andrew Scott, a.k.a. Moriarty, plays detective. He embarks on a precarious and obsessive investigation. And so, yeah, I watched the trailer, and the trailer looked great. IMDb is giving it a 6.3, and people on there are kind of liking it. So it's one of those, doesn't
Okay.
seem like to be a lot of middle of the road stuff. So I'm excited for this one.
Good. All right.
Grandmaster Oath.
I'm going to go with one called Sorry to Bother You. Excuse me. Basically, it follows a struggling telemarketer who's trying to make a better life for himself, but it's got some heavy hitters in it. So, again, this is on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, I kept
every
seeing
year.
it on
so,
there.
I've been meaning to recommend it, but there's been a couple others ahead of it, so I'm excited to watch this one. I think it'll be really good.
Now, and I thought maybe there was like a time travel element or something.
But
to this,
the whole alternative reality thing is
Yeah.
what I kept reading about, and that's what kept me away from it. So I'll be curious to see what
Yeah.
that's about.
So it's an alternative-
See what that's about.
So it's an alternative reality.
Yeah, exactly. It's not modern. I mean,
From
it's
what
not.
I understand, it's got a very big political undertone, I think.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been avoiding this film because I feel like I'm on political.
Agreed,
slash-
Are you on
100%.
Facebook?
Oh yeah,
It's there.
yeah.
It's definitely a dark comedy. That much I'll tell you.
Facebook is either political or you're trying to sell me shit that I don't want. That's what I feel like Facebook is anymore.
I
Sorry.
think Facebook is a great place to find your favorite podcast.
There you go.
Speaking of
It's
that,
free
Russell,
too.
Take back the
Free.
Where can you find? Speaking of
It's
that,
free
Russell,
too.
Take back the
Free.
Where can you find us, Russell?
DunestoneRedemption.com is a place that I like to go to listen to all of our episodes.
Yes.
We also upload movie reviews.
TV reviews.
Eric and his daughter Sophia do a great video podcast type thing.
Oh, we
There's
have fun
amazing.
doing it.
kinds of little goodies on there that people may not be aware of. And I'm telling you what, it's a damn good looking website.
Yeah.
Eric has done a fantastic job building that.
I slept
And,
with a lot of people to get that thing built.
it's a good looking website. It's well done.
Russell's actually on June 18th going to be signing autographs at the public library here in St. Joe.
Yep.
While we
Yes.
watch a movie called signing autographs at the public library here in St. Joe.
Yep.
While we
Yes.
watch a movie called, what are we watching?
Us.
Them.
A movie called Us.
Us is watching us.
And that starts at 6:30 at the St. Joseph Public Library.
I need a
East Hills
hard
Library.
commitment. You going to be there, both?
Absolutely.
East Hills Library by the mall. Yeah, absolutely.
I was told to bring my own drink. Popcorn's provided.
I believe Bob Schultz will probably.
Sign autographs while we're there.
Yeah,
So,
I always want to get Bob's autograph.
yeah.
So yeah, you can also find us on Twitter and what's that other thing? Instagram.
Hyperloop.
We are Dunestone Films.
Facebook.
So and listen for our podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on YouTube. We're hard enough.
And we got business cards.
All
We
right.
do have cards.
Peace out,
Thanks, y'all.
Smaley.